After Bitcoin bounced from the most important support we discussed on yesterday's video, I am right now expecting an enormous move is going to be imminent on Bitcoin, and on today's update video I will be talking about this move, the next pattern that currently Bitcoin is creating here on that 4-hourly time frame, and of course I will be discussing the most important charts, the most important patterns, and of course the most important zones we're currently looking at. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, what we saw here happening on the imminent short term, and we discussed this on yesterday's video, that if Bitcoin were to be staying bullish, we need to be bouncing from off this lower side of support, and that is exactly what happened. So Bitcoin came back, retested that 60.7k level, and boom, afterwards we bounced towards the upside, and now we're already trading around 63,000 US dollars again. And if I'm zooming out, you can clearly see that this level where I was talking about in yesterday's video, where I was expecting the Bitcoin bounce is most likely happening from, was of course that level, which I also discussed in yesterday's video, that provided big support in this entire trend right here, and a retest of this level wouldn't necessarily be bearish. And yes, what I still will be saying, just like I said in yesterday's video, if Bitcoin still were to be going down and actually break below this level, I still think we're going to be seeing most likely a continuation lower, and Bitcoin is probably going to be seeing lower lows. But as long as we're not breaking below this level, I don't really see a big reason to be worrying. And actually right now in the imminent short term, well, in fact, I clearly see, and everyone clearly sees, we're still creating a lower high structure. We are also creating a higher low for the first time in this consolidation phase. So we could be approaching Bitcoin in a whole different way right now here. First of all, we could be looking at an upward sloping support line from the lower side right now. And of course, we could be approaching the downward sloping resist line from the top side, or we could be drawing it from off this point or the higher point. But basically, this is revealing that Bitcoin is creating a new compression pattern. And yes, that is just going to show us a little bit more of a clear direction whenever Bitcoin is going to create that big decisive move. Because yes, ever since we've been consolidating downwards right here, we've not really created a clear compression with a higher low structure. Now we are creating that first higher low from the lowest point of the market. So yeah, if we are going to be seeing that break above the downward sloping trend line, that is going to be ultimately very bullish. And of course, ultimately where we want to be breaking above of is that 64.7k level, because that has been the previous high in the market. And if we do take out the previous high in the market, that is the point where we're going to be seeing that next continuation towards the upside for Bitcoin. So I'm going to be putting all my attention towards that level right there. But just like I said earlier, if we still do break below this very important green box in the market right here, we're just most likely probably going to be seeing a lower low getting created for Bitcoin, and then we're probably going to be seeing a bearish breakdown. So while all this is happening, I quickly still want to be pointing out is that please look about what currently is happening in terms of the funding rate. The funding rate remains to be negative, and negative funding rates, for the people that don't know it, in a bull market is always a good buying opportunity. And yeah, maybe people are saying, but oh, you've been saying this for such a long period of time right now. But yes, I have been saying it for such a long period of time, but you have to understand that this consolidation phase is still not broken out of, and we're seeing negative funding in this consolidation phase. It just makes me extremely bullish that we're going to be having a big squeeze towards the upside, because if we're looking at the liquidation heat map, we can see that clearly the majority of the liquidity is being built up above us. And I mean, it is not going to be any easier than it is currently. Funding rates are negative, the overall sentiment is bearish, and the liquidity is being built up on the top side. How many more signals do you want to be having that Bitcoin is going to create another squeeze towards the upside? For me, these are already enough signals. So the next level where I think Bitcoin is heading towards is 67.3k, because more than $3 billion US worth of Bitcoin short liquidations are laying around that level. So I'm expecting a big squeeze is going to be happening towards that level. And if you're just clearly looking at the exchange liquidation heat map, the majority of the liquidations are currently laying above us and not below us. So it's going to be only more than likely that Bitcoin is going to be squeezing up higher. So yesterday first, we saw actually the breakdown of the falling wedge pattern. Then we saw that there was actually a slight little fake out, and we're once again trading above this level. So interesting to see how this is currently going. But Bitcoin clearly broke the downward sloping resist line and actually is currently trading above it again here. And most important of all, we're currently seeing Bitcoin on the daily time frame consolidating here in this sideways consolidation range. And I pointed out the most important levels in this region because yes, I believe that $60,000 is a very important level. I believe that $65,000 is an important level, and the $72,000, which is the range high, is also a very important level. Basically, these three levels are the most important levels to be paying attention towards, and maybe even right now as well that range low in the market. But of course, on the imminent short term, I believe that these levels, these three boxes I've drawn, are the most important regions to be paying attention towards. And whenever we see a break above it or a break below that box here, that is going to indicate where we're going to be making that next big step, right? So if we break above this 66.7k box, we're most likely going to be seeing $73,000 anytime soon. So this is how I'm approaching Bitcoin. And yes, if we break below the green box, we're most likely going to be seeing $56,000 next. So this is a little bit how I'm approaching Bitcoin. This is a little bit how I'm playing. But currently on the 4-hourly time frame, you can still see that on the bigger perspective, we're trading in a massive downtrend. And right now on the imminent short term, we're creating that first ever so slight bounce upwards. So interesting to see how the price action is playing out. But basically, like I said earlier in the video, we're just consolidating. And potentially right now, we're creating that inverse head and shoulders pattern where Bitcoin, of course, is going to be creating that first higher low in the market. And for us to be seeing that bullish confirmation, I need to be seeing the break above the red box. But if we break above 64.6k, so above that red box, oh man, I am going to be bullish, because if we break above that level, I think that what is going to be happening next is 67.5k, which is the level where all the liquidity is laying in the market. And then, of course, I'm going to be making even more profit with my trade, because currently I am long on Bitcoin with over $900,000. And yeah, you can currently see that I'm in a profit of about $62,000, which is of course quite nice, but I'm targeting way higher levels, because I think Bitcoin is going to go up to $70,000 to $73,000 and potentially even more. And those are the targets where I'm going to start to take some profits off the table. So if you've been following the channel, you've took the exact same trade, so you would have been in the same profit like me. I shared this trade step by step on my channel. So if you want to be learning on how to trade, and if you want to be seeing on how I trade better said, make sure to watch these videos, subscribe to the channel, and of course, if you want to be getting a trading account yourself, go to the link description of today's video where you can currently sign up an account to Bybit. And if you right now press up that link in the description, you could claim a free $200 trade for only signing up an account and depositing $100 in your first 7 days. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video. But let me continue the video further with, of course, talking about the daily time frame on Bitcoin. And still, I want to be pointing out that we're in a massive consolidation phase here. And still, so far, we've not really seen any shocking move here on Bitcoin. And whenever the shocking move is going to come, that is the point where the real gains are going to get realized. So currently still, I believe that we're trading in an ever so slight daily downtrend. And whenever we do break this trend, which I think is going to be happening any moment right now, because I believe that we're right now in the beginning point of the bullish reversal, we are going to be seeing a massive continuation towards the upside. And whenever that is going to be happening, I think that we are going to be most likely seeing new all-time highs. So Bitcoin is currently retesting this weekly support level, which I think is also actually looking quite bullish. And I think that in general, this trend where we're currently trading in is looking quite bullish. And historically speaking, we just had the halving. The next parabolic run-up for Bitcoin is going to be imminent. And to fade Bitcoin after the halving is maybe one of the worst things you could be doing in your life. So currently, indeed, we're seeing a massive weekly rejection, but you have to be looking at these lower time frames to see the perspective of what currently is happening on Bitcoin. But yeah, I am extremely excited about it. I am not planning to take any profits on my trades anytime soon here. And whenever I do take profits or close my trade, you will be the first one to know on the channel. So if you enjoyed this content and if you want to be learning more about my trades, how I take them, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I showed you also how I took this trade. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.